Depraved is the newest film from Larry Fessenden. Is that how you say his name? He wrote and directed this one, and it's been generating some buzz, probably because of his name. I went into this knowing nothing about it, and I will tell you that this is just yet another take, another modernized take on the Frankenstein story. And this is a story that's extremely overplayed for me. I'm done with this story. Like, I don't want to see another Frankenstein movie. It's the same fucking movie every single time. It just... They put a little spin on it. They put a little freshness to it because this guy is, the main character who becomes the Frankenstein monster in the film. He's got his girlfriend at home, real pretty girl. They're having these arguments, and of course, I'm totally taken out of it. And this is my own bias towards it, so don't take this for anything more than that. It is total bias, but I just roll my eyes at this whole notion that the women are so aggressively trying to get men to knock them up, and I just don't find that to be a thing anymore. Like, I think that was a thing once upon a time, but I actually find women to be more afraid of commitment now than men. Like, most guys I meet are like, dude, I would like a girlfriend. And that might surprise you, and that might just be my age range, but it just seems to be the younger generations. You try to meet a girl, and they're just like, I don't want any ties. Like, they're very much men now in that way. So this opening with the girl being like, I want to have kids, and he's like, come on, stop harping on me, and this and that. I was just like, that's not been my experience as of late. In the last decade or more, I don't see that. I'd love to find a chick that would want to settle down and actually be in a relationship. But that's just, I don't see that at all anymore. I don't see anybody who wants to do that anymore. As far as women. So that actually, I don't know why. I've talked about that for way too long on this review, but I see that a lot in movies, and I've never really addressed it on my channel. And I like to address every stupid little thing, and that's one of those things that just stuck out to me. Like, I don't experience that, and I don't know anyone who experiences that. I hear people talking about it, like people I don't know. Like, I see it online, like, oh, bitches be this and that. And I'm like, not my experience. I guess no one wants to be with me. That's the conclusion I must draw from that. Like, people are like, oh, that only doesn't happen to you, Jason, because no one wants to be with your ass. Okay, fair enough. But anyways, moving on from that. Yeah, it's just, he leaves the house. He gets murdered. This all happens in like the first 2 minutes. This isn't spoilers. And then he becomes, of course, we know he dies. He's the fucking Frankenstein monster. That's the very basic plot synopsis. This happens within the first couple minutes of the movie. He's murdered, and then he's brought back. And I don't know. I didn't care for the characters much. Joshua Leonard from the Blair Witch Project is in this. I just saw Rise of Skywalker, so honestly, that was on my brain like crazy, and I was just like thinking and thinking and thinking about it while I was watching it, but it just wasn't all that engaging. It wasn't drawing me in. I wasn't really connecting with anyone. I didn't really care about anyone's motives. The main guy, who's like Dr. Frankenstein in this, I could fucking care less about him and what his intentions were and his super obsessive nature with this. It just didn't sell me. It's a very subpar Frankenstein story. Like, I've seen Frankenstein done super well already. So if you're gonna bring Frankenstein back, put a completely new spin on it. Something completely different, and change things up dramatically. Take some risks. And as I said, this is a modernized version of it, but at its core, it's Frankenstein. Like, if you've seen the original Universal Monsters Frankenstein, and you can see, yeah, right there, you can see some of it, that box set. I was going to say, is it off frame? But you can see actually the Frankenstein monster right there. But yeah, if you've seen that movie and you've seen any other modern takes, like the, De Niro one or whatever, you're not going to get anything new from this movie. Not anything I saw anyways. But there you go. I don't have a lot to say about this one. It was a disappointment for me. If you do want to check it out, it is currently streaming on Hulu, but not a recommendation for me. Maybe if you're a big Frankenstein fan, you'll be like, oh, I love those kinds of movies. I'm going to go check it out. It's okay. for that. Even for a Frankenstein movie, I think it's kind of like middle ground Frankenstein movie. I think it's just an okay Frankenstein movie. You know? Like, it's not like, oh, I'm sick of Frankenstein movies, and even though this is a great one, I'm just tired of that subgenre. No. Like, even if I was to attach myself and I was like, oh my God, I either love that or have no opinion of it, I've never seen one before, I would still be like, meh, wasn't connecting with anybody, don't really understand motives, don't really understand. They didn't really work me in an emotional way with his character because they kind of take him away from his love, and then he's supposed to be having some kind of like memories, and they do some animation trippy shit when he's coming in and out, and I didn't really understand much of the purpose of that, and it just didn't work for me. So maybe it'll work for you, but I'm not a fan. But anyways, adios.